Hi friends, it's your girl Laressa, aka La to the I-E-S-S-A. Welcome back or welcome to the channel if you are new here. This is the place on the internet where I help fellow real estate brothers and sisters keep it real estate so you can become that real estate agent. And in this video, I am going to be showing you how to create real estate landing pages that actually convert. But it's going to take some work, and before we get into all that, I first want to discuss the differences between a website, a landing page, funnel, and a lead magnet. And to do that, I have asked ChatGPT. Now, this is what it gave me. So this was the original prompt up here. And then I just asked it to summarize it. So pause to read. Now, essentially, in this video, I'm going to show you, I guess you could say, a combination of all the things. So depending on what the objective of the landing page is going to determine, I guess, what you would call it. But any which way, it's a page that has information relevant to your buyers or sellers, and you want them to take some kind of action. So with that all said, we are going to head into my iPad here because I have made a beautiful diagram to show you how to structure your real estate landing pages. Now, in this case, my landing pages are comprised of 4 pages here. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4. So we're going to get into the nitty-gritty of them all. It's actually quite simple. Now, the first page here is just your cover page. Oopsies. Your cover page here. And this is going to be containing your CTA button, which actually leads to the real CTA page. Now, you can see here in the blue here, you want to use language that asks a question or makes a statement relevant to your target audience that also supports your CTA button. Now again, as I mentioned, this button is going to be linked down to here, which is the actual conversion page, if you will. But before that, we have our second page, which is our infographic page. Now, in real estate, I suggest that you do have this page here just so you can add some more relevant information that is going to be useful to your buyers or your sellers. So you can do many things here. You can have, an infographic, you can embed a YouTube video, another Canva presentation. So you can actually embed a Canva presentation onto the page, and then it becomes interactive, and then they can click through it and go through the pages just like that. Now, most importantly, we have our third page. Why do I keep erasing this here? This is our actual CTA conversion page, which contains the actual real CTA button. Now, your CTA, which stands for call to action, can be many things. Now, in this case, what I like to use is one of two things. We have over here a Google form plus a Zapier kind of automation. So if you don't have access to a robust CRM like kvCore, or if you're not using any kind of email campaign system just yet, you can create an automation with Google Forms and Zapier to deliver an automatic email to deliver those free guides. Now, in another case, you can also use a consultation call, so a Calendly embed. So Calendly, if you're not familiar with that, it's basically an online scheduler that helps you to prevent what I call a client ping pong dialogue. So they're able to just book into your calendar whenever you have a free spot, and that could be for a Zoom call or just a regular phone call, but it's booked into both of your calendars, so both of you know when that event is about to happen. So that's your third page. And finally, I have down here your agent contact footer. I think this is also important to have as well, because again, in real estate, you want to make sure that whoever is coming across your page knows that you are that real estate agent, and they know how to get in contact with you, and they know what you look like. Now, that we have all of this done and ready, I'm going to show you my screen here. I'm going to go into here. Give me a second. So this is actually the buyer's landing page here. So let me reload this because I have some animations in here. You see that? That was nice. Yes. So again, this is our cover page. Again, this is that CTA that actually leads to the third page. If I click on it, it will bring you down to this page. Bam! Did you see that? That was nice, huh? Gorgeous. But anyways, going back up to the second page here, I actually just have an infographic for the home buying journey, which is really nice to do. So this design here has actually come from my buyer guide templates. My buyer guides, templates that are available for purchase on my Etsy shop. So this is a part of that guide. I just basically copied and pasted the design in here, but I also do have another tutorial on how to make this if you want to learn how. with Canva, so I will link that tutorial in the cards above and in the description box down below. But again, a very simple, easy graphic, so your buyers who are coming across this page can see what the process is, and then it leads them down to this page, get the guide. Now in this case, this button would be hyperlinked with your Google Form button, and then they can go ahead, fill it out, and then again, if you have that automation with Zapier, you can create an automation with that. Now again, I do actually have a separate tutorial on just a Google plus Zapier automation, so I will link that in the cards above and in the description box down below if you don't know how to do that. And then finally, we have here at the bottom our agent footer, which again has our name, our logo, our social media icons that are all clickable, and all these buttons here. This is very similar to the look of a link tree, which is exactly what I was going for, but that's what it looks like. Now again, this is what it looks like on desktop. It's going to look slightly different when you are on mobile, so you want to make sure that when you are designing it, it is optimized for that, which I will show you later in a bit. So this was the buyer landing page, and essentially when you create the seller's landing page, you just want it to also be quite similar in look and style. So if I give this a reload, you can see there's that automation. Again, here is that statement there. Again, this is going to lead down to the third landing page here, or the third page essentially. But instead, this is going to be, booking a call using Calendly. Now in this case, I included just a little video, which I think is nice. So if you include yourself giving instructions as to what this button will do, I think it will help to convert even more, so people are not scared to actually book a call with you. But going back to our second page here, this again is the same thing. It's the infographic, it's the selling process. Again, this has come directly from my buyer's guide that I also sell on my Etsy shop. So if you know, check it out. Scan the code right here. So you can get access to that as well. And again, same look, same feel, because we want our brand to look very cohesive, regardless if it's a buyer's page or a seller's landing page. Now let's head in to our Canva homepage here. Now you want to just go back into here, and then we're just going to scroll over here to websites. Now again, you can build this from scratch. You can choose a template that you like, but there doesn't really seem to be lots of real estate ones, so don't worry. I got you, because they actually do sell these buyer and seller landing pages on my Etsy shop. So save some time, buy the templates, and just input what you need to input relevant to you. So in this case, what I recommend is just go to a blank document here, and you just go in. Here's a blank document. Again, you want to have the first page as your cover, the second page as your infographic, the third page as your CTA, and the fourth page as your footer. Now, typically with the footer, I would kind of just bring this up a little bit closer here, because it doesn't need to necessarily be one full page. But let me show you the design here for the buyer's landing page in the Canva editing window. Now, as you see here, this is already a published design here, but in order to just edit it, I would just go over here to edit design. And so this is what the back end of this looks like. So again, this is just text, this is just a logo, this is literally just a square, and then a little bit of a shadow. I'll show you how to do that in a second. Again, all of this is just elements from Canva that you can easily do with all of the elements over here on the side. And then finally, we have your CTA page here, which is, get the guide and to download. And then your footer page here, again, just a square elements and hyperlinking these buttons. But again, if you just want to know how to make this button here, you can see there's a bit of a shadow. So if I ungroup this, this is, ungroup it. That's what it looks like. Again, it's literally just, if I go to elements, or even if you just put R on your keyboard, rectangle, go ahead and do that. And then just name this whatever you want. I just put step 1. And then if you go into elements here, look up shadows, shadow, you'll find a bunch like this. So something like that. And then I just put it right underneath. Now, once you do that, you do want to group the elements together if you do decide to put an animation. But before you put an animation, you first want to hyperlink this button here. And so to hyperlink this to the third page, if you just click on here, you see the 3 dots, click on that, and then you want to go into link here. And then it's showing you the pages in the document, and it's actually page 3. So we click on that. And then it's gonna underline the button there, which I don't like, so I always remove the underline. And then once you have hyperlinked that button, you can go ahead and click and drag with your mouse and group it. And then once you've done that, you can go into animations because it's already selected. Go into animations up here, and then you can choose some kind of animation if you'd like. Rise, baseline, rise is what I typically choose. But because my text is going up, I want it to be my button to go down so it looks interesting. So if I just go to, let's see here, let me select this again and just do that. And you can see it's doing that thing, which is really, really nice. So I'll just keep that there for now. And then you can always test this too. If you go up to the preview button here, you can see, I'm going to turn without navigation. I usually have without navigation for landing pages. And so you see how it works like that, and you can again just click on it. It should bring you down to that page. Now again, you can add animations to pretty much everything on the page, text, logos, elements, things like that. But just use animations just on the important parts, because typically if you use animations everywhere, it may slow down the loading of your page. So I just use it just for the cover page and the buttons, and again the graphic here, so it just looks really cool when people scroll down to the page. Now this particular iPad here is actually, again, if I ungroup it, it's a shadow and then just an iPad frame that you can find in the element section here, elements here, and then search for iPad. Or actually, if you scroll down here, go into frames and just see all, you can see you have devices here, and so you have iPhones, iPads, computer screens, things like that. And then again, same thing, you want to, with the button, same thing, square, put your text in there, then hyperlink it, and then put the animation in. Now again, with this button here, it's going to be linked to a Google form. So in this case, go ahead and create your Google form. If you want to learn how to create a Google form that's branded, check out the previous video. I will link it in the cards above and in the description box down below. But typically, you want to create your Google form, something that's very simple, just name, email, number, optional. And then once you create this here, you can go to the send button and just go to link, and then you can shorten the URL if you want to, just copy that. Now previously in another tutorial, I had just usually embedded the Google form directly onto this page. So if I just go ahead and add here, if I go right click and paste, usually it's going to just embed that actual form onto your page here, just like that. Now sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. So if you want to have it like that, you very well can. But I think having the look of a button just makes your landing page look very seamless. So that's what I recommend instead, is just hyperlinking that button. But if you want to do it this way, you very well can, because if we go to the preview, we can see here that if we scroll down to the bottom, there's that. But we can actually scroll through here, and then the person can fill out this form without actually leaving to go to another page. But totally up to you. It's all up to you. In this case, I'm just going to delete that and keep it as it is. And then that's, again, pretty much your third page, your CTA page. If you decide to use a Google form, again, you will need to use it in conjunction with Zapier in order to have an automation. But if you do have access to another kind of email campaign flow system, you can just hyperlink that button there. Very simple, very easy. And again, with these buttons here, you want to make sure that you properly hyperlink each button. Now these social icons I've made previously in another tutorial, so again I will put that tutorial in the cards above and in the description box down below, because you can actually make your own social media icons. That way when you are designing stuff, it is always branded. So in this case, you know, YouTube here, I already have hyperlinked it, but if it wasn't there, typically you would just go to the 3 buttons and then just go ahead and, where are you? Hyperlink. Let's just delete this. So 3 buttons and then hyperlink. And then you can go ahead and put your link in that way. Very simple, very easy. And then for these particular buttons here, you can actually hyperlink your phone number. So when you actually put your phone number in here, so let me just delete this and then hyperlink this button. Just put in your phone number as you normally would. Let's see here. Just hit enter and then it will automatically do the tell your number. And if somebody clicks on it, the system will actually try to call you. So that's fun and interesting. And again, same thing down here with your website. And then for your email, you just want to go in and just put your email as you normally would, laressa.ngoeun@exprealty.com. And when you do that, it will do the email to : So let me go ahead and do that really quickly. And then hit enter. I know I'm in the way, but you see there how it does the mail to. Hold on, my mouse is frozen. I'll be right back. And I'm back. And it's that mail to : and so that's how you use that. Again, I like to remove the underline. So again, it looks very seamless. And then you want to take this agent footer and you want to put it on the seller footer so that it looks very seamless and it all looks the same. Now this particular profile, you see how I'm popping out of here? You actually have to make this in, you can make it on this page here, but what I recommend is making it its own picture, and then you just save it as a PNG and put it into your brand kit. So here's the brand kit for this particular one. You can see here I have my photos. I have this photo here. This is a double ring. This is a pop out with no ring, and then this is just me inside a circle. So I actually have tutorials on how to customize profile images like this. So if you want to be on brand, this is how you do it. But essentially there is this page. Again, this particular template is available for sale on my Etsy shop, so check it out. Now if we head over to the, let's actually go in and open up my sellers one. I'll be right back. I gotta go find it. All right, and I'm back. So here is that seller's page that I showed you. Again, this is a live design, but I'm going to edit it to show you the differences between this page and the buyer's page. Now, again, this is the same thing. The button is linked to the third page. This is the graphic. But instead of having a Google form, you can have a call. So again, if you see here, this is that button there. Now, typically, I would just go and create a new Calendly event. So I actually do have a separate tutorial on how to use Calendly for real estate. So if you have yet to try Calendly, I highly recommend you do. I'll put that tutorial in the cards down below, up and down, up and down. So, but this is what, if we go over to this page here, this is what a Calendly looks like. So essentially you program this so that any open spots that you have in your day, somebody can come in and book a time. So if they click on this time, they can, actually, let's go to the live page here so you can see what it actually looks like. So if you send this to your client, they can choose a day, and then you can program this with particular questions before they can book into your calendar. And now the nice thing about Calendly is that you have different ways of meeting somebody. So in this case, this particular call is over Zoom, but you can actually give your clients options. So let's click out of here, go back to the back end. So this is the actual back end of that call. Now, again, I do have a tutorial on all of this, so don't worry about that. But in this case, what I do want to show you here is for the event details. So in this case, I have the location just for Zoom because I have connected my Zoom account to Calendly. So that way, basically, when somebody books a call with me, Zoom and Calendly will talk to each other, and Zoom will create a link or a special Zoom meeting link, and then it will be delivered to the client via email. But anyways, what I wanted to show you is you can add actually multiple locations. So add a location. And so this could be a Zoom call, or this could just be a phone call. So basically you can give your client a drop-down menu of where they would like to have this event. Typically, I always just do Zoom, but you could put a phone call in here if you wanted to. But do what you like. Again, let's go and grab the view page here. So I'm gonna copy this link here, and typically if we go into our sellers page here. Now this again could be a call for anything. This could be a call just as an introduction call, or this could be a call before you, if let's say they wanted a home evaluation or CMA, you would want to get information first directly from the source before you actually go ahead and do that. But again, you can just have this as a free intro call. Now typically I would hyperlink again this button to that Calendly page. But again, in another tutorial on my channel, I actually do show you how to paste this onto here. You can embed it. So if you just, again, hit paste, it should copy it over just like that. And this one's kind of really big. So you want to make it small. But again, sometimes this embed works and sometimes it doesn't. But again, what I recommend you to do is to just hyperlink that button because it just makes it look a lot more seamless. But again, if we go into preview, same thing like the Google form, your client or potential client can interact with this page here. Again, choose the questions, answer the questions, choose the date, and do all this without having to leave the landing page. So again, totally up to you what you want to do, but I find just having that button link there looks very seamless. But again, you do you, boo. You do you. And again, this page is also, this template is available for purchase on my Etsy shop, so do check it out. So that, in a nutshell, is basically what you want to do when it comes to designing your page. Now, again, you want to be wary of designing this because, again, it's going to look different on mobile versus desktop. So desktop, it looks really nice, looks really seamless. But if we head over to here, to mobile, this is what it looks like. So you can see here that this looks pretty much exactly like the layout of a Linktree or a multi-link platform. So they can go ahead and click on these buttons because they're all hyperlinked. But let's scroll all the way up to the top. This is what that would look like. And then you have this design here. And then you have here your little intro video, and then they can book a call. So it looks like that. So typically what I notice with Canva is that, think of it as if I were to, right now I have my rulers and guides on, so Shift R to turn them on. But typically what I do is I pull a guide and I want it to be directly in the center. And so most of the time I try to have pages like this, all centered, all of the logos, the text, the elements centered. Now with these kind of graphics, I don't really worry too much. I'll let Canva do whatever it wants to, but if you wanted to make sure it looks exactly like this, what I recommend you to do is to just click on here, drag everything, and just lock everything in place so it doesn't manipulate the look of this layout. Now again, typically with your call to action page, you want to have it split in the middle. So if you have a graphic on one side, have that there, and then if you have text on the other side, keep it all in the middle, just like that, because it's going to be basically stacked on each other when it's in the mobile view. Again, same thing with here. You want to put your graphics on one side and then put all of your buttons on the other side because it's going to be stacked when it is in mobile. So once you have that, you are pretty much ready to go. And so you can publish this website. Now, typically with Canva, I just use the free canva.website domain because it's easy. But if you have the pro version of Canva, you can also buy your own domain name from Canva, or you can also use your own domain name. You'll just have to follow the instructions. I've never done that before, so you're going to have to do your own homework. Sorry. But in this case, I just always use the free version because, I mean, these are just landing pages. I just need to drive just traffic to this page. And again, this is just really easy to make landing pages with Canva because it's just a drag and drop. No coding required. So in this case, I have chosen this without navigation. You want to have this toggled on, resize on mobile. And then I am going to go to just continue. Now, if you click on this button here, you can rename this page here, but it just basically correlates to what you have here, what you have named the Canva document. And then this is your favicon. So this is pulling the logos from the brand kit that I'm currently sitting in, but you can always upload your own. They also give you the pixel sizes, but I'm just going to keep that as is. And then here is your slug. So here's your page URL, and then everything after this dash here, this / is going to be, your slug. So seller funnel. So that's what I put there. I just left the description blank because it's honestly going to be really hard for people to organically come across this page in Google, but I'll talk more about that in a second. Now, there are other advanced features here, but you don't really need to play around with it all too much. Now, I do have this turned off. Search engine visibility is disabled, because potentially this could, yes, show up in Google depending on the keywords that you have or the amount of information you have on your page. But honestly, again, like I said, that's really hard to do because, yeah. So in this case, you also have your link preview enabled. You can also choose a different photo. Again, it's just pulling the photo from here. That's completely fine. And then I have basically this turned off, turned on. But again, you could keep this on if you want to. It's totally up to you. It's totally up to you, but this is just for demonstration purposes. Now again, you would just go again and hit publish and then keep it as is. Now at this point, you can, again, keep going in and out to edit your design, but you don't want to change the slug or the link because it will break the link. So again, you can go ahead and edit and make this better over time, but just don't touch your link once you go ahead and publish it. And again, if you go over here, this is what that looks like on desktop. Again, gonna look different on mobile. But before you send this out to anybody, what I recommend you to do is to always check your links, make sure everything works, and click on this. It should pull you down to here, and there you go. Anyways, and then make sure this is all linked properly. Now again, one of the biggest questions that I get in regards to these landing pages is, how do we actually drive traffic to these pages? Again, it's going to be really hard for people to discover this page organically on Google. Now that might be different if you do decide to purchase a domain through Canva, or you have your own domain name and you have content on the page that is going to be driving traffic to find it. But again, what I recommend you to do is to just create content around these pages. So whether that be, creating short form video content on TikTok or Instagram and telling people you have this resource, it's in your link bio. Or again, if you are going the long form route, which is YouTube, which I highly encourage you to do because it's a lot more search based friendly and more evergreen than social media content, just put the buyer landing page or the seller landing page in your description and tell people that you have these resources. And of course, put this in your link tree. So if you have yet to use Linktree, or if you are using Linktree, there is actually a very specific way you want to make sure that you're optimizing your Linktree profile so people will click on it and go to where they need to go. And I show you exactly how to do that in this video right over here. So if you are ready, get ready to click in 3, 2, 1.